All right, good afternoon, Champ Car Racers. Welcome to your virtual drivers meeting for your TireRack.com Champ Car Endurance Series, RVA Graphics and Wraps, Carolina Grand Prix. This is the first time we've been back to Carolina Motorsports Park in quite a few years. For those of you that don't know, the facility has changed hands. It has been massively fixed up. I had the opportunity to tour the facility last year, and I was really super impressed. For those of you that are racing in this race, I am extremely envious because I got the chance to drive a couple laps in one of the cars there owned by the facility. And if there was ever a track where I regret, well, I shouldn't say regret, that's the wrong word, but where I miss driving instead of working, this is the one. So I hope you guys have a great time. I am super excited about being there. Moving on to our sponsors, we'd like to thank Frozen Rotors, Racing Radios, Lifeline Fire Suppression Systems, RVA Graphics and Wraps, Bell Racing, the official helmet of Champ Car, UUC Motorworks, and NLA Parts. We'd also like to thank again our event sponsor, RVA Graphics and Wraps. RVA Graphics and Wraps has been with us for a long time with Champ Car, so we really appreciate those guys being with us. As always, we'd like to thank the Chandler School for their continued support of our Sportsmanship Award. It's one of my favorite awards to give out. We'll talk more about that at the track on Sunday at the award ceremony. And our class sponsors, Discovery Parts, MoneyShiftRacing.com, and Krispy Kreme. On the note of Discovery Parts, they are going to have their mobile sales rig on site for the weekend. One of the things that Ron is really good about is if you need something, you know you're going to need it, call him now, send him a note on his website, however your preferred means of getting a hold of him is, and he will package up whatever it is you need and bring it to the track. But in addition to that, he will be fully stocked with things like gloves, hats, balaclavas, socks. Everybody forgets socks, shoes. You know, if you're thinking about refreshing your safety gear, now's the time to do it. And it will be on site. We're happy to have them there. Okay, so moving on to the race itself. Let's talk about some pit lane stuff and fueling rules. As always, if this is your first time racing with Champ Car, or you haven't raced with us in a while and you would like to do a refresher, maybe a little bit deeper dive into how we officiate the race, how we manage pit lane, just kind of how the race unfolds, I would encourage you to watch our new driver video. There'll be a link to that in the email that this video came in. It's also posted on our forum under the race events tab. It's 3 or 4 down. It's sticky at the top, but it's a new driver meeting. It's about 45 minutes long, but like I said, it's a much deeper dive into how we manage a race. If this seems like we're kind of blowing over things. Also, we're going to be able to do a short in-person drivers meeting on Saturday before the race. So I'm not going to dive as deeply into this video as I sometimes do, since we can cover the last minute details at the race. Okay, pit road. A couple things about pit road. First, speed limit on pit lane, 20 miles an hour. I've set the speed limit at all Champ Car races this year and moving forward at 20 miles an hour. It makes it easier for everybody to remember what the speed limit is, and it really makes pit lane a lot safer, especially for the staff that are moving around out there. 20 miles an hour is a decent speed, but when you've been running around at speed on the racetrack, it seems really slow. So if you feel like you're absolutely crawling on pit lane, you're probably going about the right speed. So 20 miles an hour all times on pit lane. When you come into pit lane, everybody stops at pit in. There's going to be a tent, a person, a stop sign, the whole 9 yards. Everybody stops coming into pit lane, no exceptions. Same thing at pit out. When you get to pit out, a tent, stop sign, and a person. Everybody stops at pit out all the time, no exceptions. Doesn't matter whether you're coming in for a black flag, whether you're coming in for damage, whether you're coming in for a fuel and driver change, it doesn't matter. When you come on pit lane, you stop at pit in. When you leave pit out, you stop at pit out. While you're on pit lane, most often you're there for a fuel and driver change. So let's talk about that real quick. Quick reminder. 1, you're allowed 5 people over the wall during the fueling process. The fueling process is considered to be taking place from the moment the gas cap comes off the car until the moment the gas cap goes back on the car, and all what we call them the Bernie bits go back over. The half-empty fuel jug, the drip pan half full of fuel, all that stuff gets back over the wall. Then you're no longer in the fueling process. So fueling is considered to take place from the time the gas cap comes off to the gas cap goes back on and all the extraneous bits get back over the wall. In between those 2 moments, you're allowed a maximum of 5 people over the wall. Everybody in that crew has got to be wearing full driver safety rig, head to foot, right? Helmet, balaclava, suit, gloves, socks. We will let you wear normal street shoes, but they got to be lace-up shoes. Other than that, we want you in the full safety rig. By far, hands down, by a factor of 100, the number one violation we see on pit lane for fueling is visors. You're all getting ready to go. You're sitting in your pit box, and everybody's got their visors up, and they just forget when they go over the wall. So if you see one of my staff giving you one of these things, it just means flip your visor down. Please remember that my staff is there to help you guys get through the race safely. Nobody's looking for reasons to penalize you guys for anything. So if my staff comes over and asks you to close a visor or do something with a fire extinguisher or step back a couple feet, they're only there to help you get through safely. So just do what they ask you to do and move along quickly. Again, 5 people over the wall, 1 person handling fuel jugs, 1 person with the fire extinguisher. It's worth noting that the fire extinguisher needs to be a 10-pound ABC dry chemical fire extinguisher, charged. A lot of times these things get bumped in the trailer or the garage someplace. Make sure it's got a charge. Make sure the pin is pulled and it's ready to go. If you read our rules carefully, there is another type of fire extinguisher that we use or we authorize for fueling. If you don't know what it is and you don't know how to use it, then you probably shouldn't be using it. So the less said, the better. If you know what it is and you're familiar with fire extinguisher equipment, then there is another one available. If you're interested, go read the rule book. But my suggestion is 10-pound ABC dry chemical. 1 person fuel jugs, 1 person with the fire extinguisher, driver in, driver out, and 1 person to assist the drivers getting in and out of the car. Remember, your 3-inch hard-sided drip pan needs to be positioned out of the point of fueling to catch any spills. Please remember that the point of the drip pan is to catch drips. I mentioned this in the other video, the new driver video, and I swear I'm not making this up. I have seen teams spill a gallon or 2 of fuel into the drip pan and then pick the drip pan up and give it a really good shake before they hand it back over the wall. Okay, that's not the point of the drip pan, all right? The drip pan is to get the spilled fuel back over the wall safely and then clean it up. So please don't shake your drip pan out on pit lane. So once the gas cap goes back on, drip pan, empty fuel jug goes back over the wall, then you can have as many people over to service the car as you want. Please remember that while you're fueling, the only thing you can do is change the driver. Other than that, nothing. Once the gas cap goes back on, you're done fueling, then you can check tires, torque lug nuts, check oil, do whatever else it is you need to do, finish your pit stop, send your car down to pit out where you will, wait for it, stop at pit out where the sign is. Person at pit out will check your pit timer. If it says 5 minutes or the 5 minutes is expired, you're fine there. Remember, you got to spend 5 minutes on pit lane if you take fuel. They will also do a courtesy check of your safety equipment. Please remember, it is your responsibility to buckle your drivers into your car properly, not ours. If they see something quick, like one of your seatbelts is not over positioned properly on your head and neck restraint, or your window net is half down, or just something they can fix quickly, they will. They'll check your helmet to make sure you have the appropriate gear check sticker on your helmet, and they'll send you on your way. If there's something about your safety gear that is not done up properly and they can't fix it for you that pit out, they're going to have to send you back to your pit stop, and that's a problem for everybody. So please take a few minutes, teams, make sure you buckle your driver into the car properly before you send them down to pit out. If you are going to be taking a little extra time in your pit stall, remember our rules allow 30 minutes in your pit stall to make repairs. Pit lane at CMP is a little small compared to the size of the track. Pit lane is going to be really, 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 really crowded at this race. That's 4 reallys. That's like really crowded. So please be kind to the people sharing the pit boxes with you. If you've got some serious work to do on your car, again, the rules give you 30 minutes, but nothing says you got to take that full 30 minutes. So if you're going to be there doing some repairs, please consider going back to your paddock, being kind to the people that you're sharing your pit stalls with. Okay, so pit out. You stop, they check your timer. We will be running Flagtronics there too, so they'll be able to look at both systems. Probably worth noting that if you're interested in running one of the Flagtronics systems, please contact them. They'll make sure they have enough units there for you. They bring some extras anyway. We've been using it more and more and more. People seem to really love it. So if you haven't used it yet, I would encourage you to give it a try. They're great pieces of equipment. So you leave pit out. Remember, your maximum drive time for your driver is 2 hours. So within 2 hours, we should see you back in at pit in, where you will stop, get your timer, and go on with your pit stops. Okay, enough said about that. Another note in here we've been seeing a little bit more and more of, please make sure that you do not come over the wall before your car gets into the pit stall. We don't want somebody standing out in front of the car trying to flag them down when the car loses its brakes because it's all hot and rolls right over them. That would be in the category of bad things. So please don't go over the wall until your car hits the pit stop or pit box and is at a safe stop. Moving on to flag conditions. Again, like I said, I'm blowing through this kind of stuff, especially most of the Eastern racers. This is, fifth or sixth race for the year for a lot of you, so you've seen it already. But remember, green flag will be displayed at the start finish, and it will be displayed at the start of the race. And anytime we go back to green after a full course caution with a pace car. Other than that, no flag is green flag conditions. Remember, we use what we call line of sight, which means if you can see that flag is for you. You are under the control and the conditions of that flag. Standing yellow flag, no passing. From the moment you see the flag, no passing. Get in line, single file, move through the incident area until you're clear. Standing yellow flag, 70% race speed. Slow down, get in line, no passing, 70% race speed. Waving yellow flag, same thing. 50% race speed, stay in line, no passing. One of the biggest situations we have, and I predict it'll be a thing here at Carolina because of the size and shape of the track. Some areas of it are hidden. But the biggest things we have with passing under yellow is people aren't sure coming into the incident area, whether they were side by side and who was where, and they're afraid that they might have passed and they try to give it back. Well, this is what happens. Going into the incident, the corner workers can tell. They're as good at reading body language as any FBI profiler ever was. They can tell if you're trying to sort it out and get in line. They're fine with that. But then you go around a corner and now you're not sure and you give it back. Well, the second corner worker, they don't know that. All they see is a passing under yellow, right? So just sort it out when you come into the yellow flag area, get in line and just stay in line. Move through the incident area. Remember that you could go back to racing after you have passed the flag, past the incident, whether it's a disabled car, corner work, or rescue workers out doing something, whatever the incident is, and you can see the next flag station and see that there's no flag, then you can go back to racing. I know there's some other clubs that do, you can get side by side and you haven't completed the pass and all these other kind of, interesting ways of measuring things, and that's all good for them. But for us, I don't want you side by side. When I say no passing, I mean no running too wide or anything like that. I need you line of stern, nose to tail, moving safely through the incident area. Once you're clear of the incident and you can see the next flag station is clear with no flag, then you can go back to racing. The third way that you will see yellows is displayed as a double yellow, full course yellow. That means we're going to put the pace car out. You guys have been awesome this year at all the races I've been to about recognizing the pace cars coming out. Leaders have done a terrific job of knowing they're the leader and falling in behind the pace car. Let's please keep that up. I made a point of thanking several of the teams at the last race for that. So if you're the leader, congratulations. You're doing a great job. Know you're the leader and be looking for the pace car when Jackie comes out. If you are not the leader and you see two yellow flags, please catch up to the field. Okay, the purpose of the full course caution is because whatever the incident is, we need a large area of open, clear racetrack in order to fix it. Could be a track repair, could be a more difficult recovery, whatever it is. If you're under double yellow conditions, out your windshield, you should either see another race car or the pace car if you're the leader. If you're looking out the windshield and you're seeing clear open racetrack and double yellow flags, I need you to catch up to the field. At one race recently, you guys did such a good job catching up to the field that you were going through the incident area a little hot. So please use discretion going through the incident area where the guys are doing the cleanup. Slow down when you're going past them. Give them a wave to acknowledge that you know they're there. And once you get through that, catch up to the back of the field. Okay, so enough on that. Black flags, we use black and meatballs. Because of the flagtronic systems, a lot of times we can send the signal directly to your car with a black flag. But if you see the number board and the black flag out for you, just report to pit in. There'll be somebody there to tell you what the situation is. Maybe we just want to look at your car. Maybe parts are falling off of it. Maybe there was a reported incident and we need to figure out, who ran into who or what happened. Whatever it is, we'll get it taken care of as quickly as we can, and we'll send you back out on track. If there is a penalty involved, you'll serve it there real quickly, and then we'll release you back out on the track. Remember that if you did come in for black flag and you proceed down pit lane, you still have to stop at pit out, and they'll check your gear again and they will send you on your way. Everybody stops at pit out regardless of the circumstances. Last flag, again, the red flag. As I mentioned this earlier, if you want a deeper dive into our flag situation, watch the new driver video. We talk about it a little bit more detail. But red flag, please come to a safe, quick stop on the track. If we have a red flag, it's because something really bad happened. We have a driver out of the car, we have a car on fire, track blockage, some major problem where I need to stop the field. And I need to stop the field because I need to roll safety equipment very quickly. So just come to a smooth stop on the racetrack. Please don't crash into anybody else or slam on your brakes. Please pull to one side of the track or the other. I really don't care which side. Just leave enough opening for the safety vehicles to get through. If all the cars in front of you are pulling to the left, then pull to the left with them. It's hot. It's South Carolina in for real summer, so it's hot. I promise you I will not leave you out there very long under a red flag condition, but just bear with me for those couple of minutes that it takes for me to get the track sorted out. We will never, ever go from a red flag directly back to green flag racing. We will not do that. We will either put out the yellows and get you circulating again. And once we are sure that everybody is circulating again, then we may go back to green. That what might be a case of if we have a really, really short red flag, we put it out, solved it quickly, we're able to get moving again. The other option is I will send a pace car out to pick up the leader. We'll get the field moving under a full course yellow, and then I'll bring you guys all down pit lane if we need to do larger, longer track repairs. But we will not ever go directly from red to green. So just be looking for the flag stations for information. If you can't see a flag station, that's okay. I'll walk somebody out to you. The pace car will come find you, something. But just stop on the track and give me a couple minutes to clear things out. Race day. Race starts at 8:30. If we've done our math properly, we will roll off pit lane somewhere around 8:15. It's a pretty big field and it's a pretty long track, so 8:15, maybe a few minutes before that. As usual, we will circle the track once, check all the transponder equipment, and then the next time by, the pace car will come in and we will go green. If we've done our math right, we'll be going green right at 8:30 on the track. What that means is I need your drivers buckled into the cars in their pit stalls, ready to go no later than 8 o'clock. Our drivers meeting will be at 7:30, just a quick short one. Get your drivers in their cars, get them buckled in, get them ready to go. We will use our usual random pit stall generator. We'll select a random pit stall. The cars in that stall will go out first. We'll work our way up pit lane. Let's say it's pit stall number 10. We'll go 11, 12, 13 up, the 1 through 9 last. And then on Sunday, we'll go to the same place and reverse the order. We'll go 9, 8, 7, 6 down all the way to 1, and then go to the end of pit out and work the other way. Don't worry if that sounds confusing. We'll have plenty of staff on pit lane to give you guidance and direction. Sunday, there is a required 1 hour quiet time on Sunday at 11 o'clock. We will use a standard red flag procedure for this. What we will do, and I'll go over this more Saturday morning at the driver's meeting, probably more Sunday morning at the driver's meeting, actually. Sometime before 11, we will go full course caution and I will close pit out. So if you're on pit lane, just be mindful of the fact that I will close pit out. I can hear it from here. I can hear the voices. What time? What time? Well, I'm not telling. Manage your race appropriately. Sometime before 11, we will go full course caution and I will close pit out. The pace car will pick up the field. We will bring the entire field around and bring them all down pit lane, and we will go red flag. We need to be all on pit lane, all cars stopped, red flag out, engines off by 11. So when will we do it? Far enough in advance so that we are completely shut down and quiet by 11. We don't want to be the club that gets the track in trouble for noise violations on a Sunday. When we go back racing, we will lift the red. I will release the cars who were sitting at pit out, send the pace car out behind them. They will circle around and join the end of the field, which is exactly where they would have been anyway. And then we'll go back to racing after 12 o'clock and we'll run until the checkered flag. So many of you have done this with us before. We've got it down pretty much to a science. If you haven't, don't worry about it. We have plenty of directions and we'll keep you posted. But just be prepared for it on Sunday that we have to deal with a 1 hour quiet time. Moving on to a couple other things. As I said, Flagtronics is available. Please give them a call if you're interested in getting one. They will have extra units at the track. Lastly, practice day. There is practice time available. You need to book it through the track for Friday. Please remember that you still need to carve out time to get your car through tech and your team through registration. So if you already have a 2021 annual tech sticker on your car, then knock yourself out. Somebody from your team can walk over and go through registration. If you have not been through tech yet in 2021, you need to carve some time out in your day to get over and get through tech. If you haven't, that probably means you haven't used our electronic tech form. We have our tech forms are now available virtually online. Team captains, when you log into your registration system, you will see a hot button that says submit a tech form. Click on that. You will see a virtual form that looks almost identical to the regular paper form that we use. Fill out your car's information, fill out the basic VPI, check the boxes for all the parts you have on the car. There are specific boxes for number of parts or check boxes for yes, no's, or places to enter the appropriate square footage of assembly items. The form will automatically tally up your total value. You'll save the form. Then when you come to tech, the tech inspectors will simply check the required safety items on your car, right? The expiration dates on your equipment, fire system, roll cage, etc. And they will save your form. They will hit save and it will automatically forward the form over to registration. So you'll walk over to registration, boom, you're done. A lot of people have used it. Most people have used it. We've had really great feedback on it. It's a really simplified system. It dramatically speeds up the tech inspection line. But if you haven't done it yet, I encourage you to log into it sooner rather than later. That way, if you have any problems, you can get them sorted out. But just fill that electronic form out, save it, and you'll be ready to go. It dramatically speeds up the process. Another thing that will help speed up the process is take a few minutes to go into your team's registration in general. Please make sure all your drivers and crew members have current memberships in ChampCar. Every once in a while, we get people that come to tech or to registration rather, and their memberships are expired. They got to take a few minutes and update them. So those few things, make sure your payments are all in and whatnot. Those kind of things really speed up the registration process for us. I seem to be at the bottom of my form and I'm looking at Polly and we're 2 thumbs up in a row. That's awesome. So, okay. Well, again, super excited about being at this track. Looking forward to seeing you guys there. Again, appreciate you choosing to race with us and I hope you guys have a great time. Thanks.